Alright, so this lesson is on the Monthly Payment 101, and this is chapter 4.3. So in this lesson, we're going to be looking at this character profile, Jessica. And Jessica is considering borrowing $15,000 for a new Ford Fusion if the monthly payment is less than $250 and the total cost is less than $16,000. Now, for Jessica's profile, as well as the rest of the characters for this assignment, you're going to be using this equation. Now, this equation looks quite fancy, but we're going to break it down together. So you'll notice that there are a lot of letters here, P, C, R, N, and what we actually have here are the letters. So here is C, here's R, here's N. So those correspond with these ones up here. Now, the very first thing that you're going to do in all of your character profiles is to make sure that you know the monthly interest rate. So right here, if you read it over, this will tell you how to find out the monthly interest rate. So if our annual, which means for the year, interest rate is 7.5%, we can find out the monthly interest rate by dividing that by 12. So to do that, we have to first convert to a decimal. So 0.075, because we've just moved the decimal place 2 times over, and then we divide by 12. So you'll see that 0.00625 is the monthly interest rate if our annual rate is 7.5%. Now that's just an example. That's not to do with Jessica. So Jessica's annual interest rate is 6%, and how we got to the monthly interest rate was we started with 6% and we divided it by 100 to get our decimal, which is 0.06. And then if we go 0.06 and divide it by 12, you'll see that the monthly interest rate is 0.005. So for all of the characters, if you divide the annual interest rate by 100, you'll be converting it to a decimal. And then if you divide that by 12, you'll get the monthly interest rate. Okay, so let's go back to this equation. So what we can start to do here is we can start to fill in the numbers that we have for Jessica. So our C is $15,000. So we're going to put 15,000. Now, whenever two letters are right beside each other, that means we're going to be multiplying. So I'm just going to put a little x here to multiply by 0.005. And then in brackets, I've got 1 plus 0.005. And you'll notice that I have this n that's not beside the r or the brackets, but it's actually above. And that's going to be our exponent. And then I'm just going to fill in the bottom. So 1 plus 0.005, 72 minus 1. Now, a very important thing to remember in this equation is that we are going to be doing the brackets first. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take out my calculator and I'm going to type in what's in the brackets first. So 1 plus 0.005. So that's what this gives us. Then I'm going to figure out what that answer is when we have the exponent 72. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to press this button here. It's got an X and a Y. And if you're using an iPhone and you flip your iPhone to the side to make it all the other buttons for the calculator, you'll find the same button. So I press that and then 72. So 1.432. And you'll notice that this in the brackets is the exact same thing as up here. 1 plus 0.005 with the exponent 72. So I don't actually need to use my calculator to figure this out because I already did. Now the next thing to remember is that when we have brackets beside a number, it actually means times. Unless, of course, there's another symbol instead of it, such as this minus. So on the top, I'm going to be multiplying 15,000 times 0.005 times 1.432. Which gives me 107.4. And then on the bottom, I'm going to type in 1.432 minus 1. And now all I have to do is take my top number and divide it by my bottom number. Divided by 0.432. So 248.61. So keep in mind that P, which is my monthly payment, is $248.61. So I'm going to fill that in right here. So now I'm going to figure out the rest of it. So for the number of months, N, I look up here and my N is 72. Now my monthly payments, again, is $248.61. And the total cost is NP. So if you recall from previously, when two letters are beside each other, that means to multiply. So I'm going to multiply the N, which is 72, times the P, which is 248.61. So my total cost is $17,899.92. Now, for the last step, we need to figure out the interest. So the interest is different from the interest rate. So a rate is a percentage or a decimal, but the interest is actually the amount of money that Jessica paid in addition to her $15,000 that she received from the bank. So what we'll do here is we'll take our NP, which is the total cost, and we will subtract C, which is $15,000. And this gives us $2,899.92. So this is the amount of money that Jessica will pay in addition to her loan amount. So now what we'll do is we'll finish off these questions on the side. The first question is, based on your calculations, does the monthly payment fit into Jessica's budget? So for this, we have to consider the first part and the monthly payments, because this says that the monthly payment must be less than $250. And of course it is, because $248 is less than $250. The next question is, how much interest is Jessica going to owe? Will it put her over her goal of $16,000? So she is going to owe, the interest is $2,899.92. Interest, and she doesn't want the total cost, or she wants the total cost to be less than $16,000, but her total cost is actually $17,899. So yes, it will put her over. Now the last question, you could actually answer it either way. Would you recommend this loan for her? So again, Jessica's considering this loan if the monthly payment is less than $250 and the total cost is less than $16,000. So you could argue that you would recommend this loan to her because the monthly payment is less than what she was hoping for. Or you could not recommend this to her because she would end up paying a total cost of $17,899 when she only wanted to spend $16,000. So I will leave this question blank, but what I would be expecting in this one is for you to answer within maybe 1 to 3 sentences. Go ahead and complete the rest of the character profiles.